Until recently, the idea of controlling workplace bullies was something to do for practical reasons, but not for legal reasons. That's changing. California Assembly Bill 2053 takes effect on January 1st, 2015. AB 2053 requires that employers operating in California with 50 or more employees provide supervisors and managers training on anti-workplace bullying. Workplace bullying is a big problem. A recent survey showed that 27% of American workers reported experiencing some form of bullying by managers or coworkers. Another 21% stated that they had seen the bullying of a coworker. Those percentages need to come down. Studies have shown that abusive workplaces increase in absentee rates, increase in workers' compensation claims, increase in employee turnover, reduces employee productivity, and employee morale. So, what is considered abusive in the workplace? Is rating someone as needs improvement on an annual review considered abusive or bullying? Is having a concerned conversation with an employee about poor performance considered abusive or bullying? Those are managerial tasks that you might have to perform, so you need to know what is and what is not considered workplace bullying. Under AB 2053, abusive conduct is defined as conduct of an employer or employee in the workplace with malice, that a reasonable person would find hostile, offensive, and unrelated to an employer's legitimate business interests. Abusive conduct may include repeated infliction of verbal abuse, such as the use of derogatory remarks, insults and epithets, verbal or physical conduct that a reasonable person would find threatening, intimidating or humiliating, or the gratuitous sabotage or undermining of a person's work performance. A single act shall not constitute abusive conduct unless especially severe and egregious. Being a manager is a job you need to perform with a high level of integrity and consistency. This might be a good time for you to take a step back and evaluate how you've been managing your employees. Ask yourself these questions. Do I communicate my expectations regularly? Do I support others and help them succeed? Do I stand up for myself, employees, and the company? Do I strive for customer satisfaction, internal, external? Do I initiate and develop relationships with others? Do I champion teamwork? Do I inspire trust through ethical behavior? Do I resist or impede change? Do I show respect and appreciation for others? You don't need to share the answer to those questions with anyone if you don't want to. They are for you, for your development. If you feel like you need some help in becoming a better manager, reach out to your manager, a mentor, or your training department and ask for help. Here are some small things you can do right away to get on track. Manage by fact, not by emotion. Hold regular team meetings and one-on-one meetings with your employees to discuss goals and expectations. Get in the trenches and manage by walking around and hearing and seeing what your employees are doing. Like I said, these are some small things you can do to get back on track, to ensure that you don't fall into any abusive behaviors. I encourage you to educate your employees on company policies, especially those that are related to harassment and discrimination. Ensure that you're setting the right tone with your team so they understand that harassment, that bullying, that abusive behavior will not be tolerated in the workplace. It isn't funny, it isn't cool. It isn't defensible by any survival of the fittest logic. Bullying is just plain wrong. Now, after you get a conversation started with your team, most people get it, and they'll chime in with their own perceptions of what is not acceptable. All you have to do is get people to have the courage to stand up against these behaviors, and, well, then you've won. You've won for the bullied, and you've won for all employees, even the bully. Yes, even the bully, because when employees quickly stand up against unacceptable behavior, the bully should cease the unacceptable behavior. Now, whether that is due to peer pressure or disciplinary action by the employer, they've solved the problem, and it goes away. Now, you may not change what's in a bully's heart. You can't always do that, but you will change the bully's conduct. And if the bully is so unhappy with their non-bullying environment, they can always quit and go work somewhere else. And if they do that, would you really be all that upset? Emotionally abusive people, bullies, harm your corporate reputation with customers as well as with coworkers. The harm that is done to the entire company rather than to a lone victim. So ask yourself this question: what kind of company do you want to be? Bye.